I'm getting more nuts on this one. Big nuts. Oh, God. I might regret saying this later, but this one tastes cheaper. Woo! That's definitely my favorite so far. It's all gone awry. I don't think I can friggin' tell which one's the Scotch. Whiskey.
Time.
Hello! Oh, wait, hold on. That's better. Hello! I have a lot of whiskey right now. A lot more than I typically have, and so I figured, why don't I blind taste test it and see if I can tell the absolute bottom tier garbage. Just kidding. I love you, Crown Royal. From, you know, the higher shelf. So join me as I taste my way through all these different whiskeys and maybe even finish off a few bottles today. All right, let's get these out of the way. God. So the way we're gonna do this, I have these 6 identical shot glasses, and I'm going to take my sticky notes here and write out what each whiskey is and peel it off, put it on the bottom of the shot glass so I can't see it, and then mix them around. Now, unfortunately, I do have 6 shot glasses and come back. 7 different whiskeys. Wait, no, that's 8. Well, Fireball's not a whiskey. So yeah, like I said, 7 different whiskeys and only 6 glasses. So one of these guys is gonna have to be left out. And I think it's gonna be the Wild Turkey 101, just because I already have another high rye based bourbon in here. Last thing, I just wanna go through each bottle and talk a little bit about why I have it. So the Crown Royal is what I drank in college. And I still like it. I think it's actually been a really long time since I've had it. So I want to see if my tastes have matured, or maybe I'll still like it. Monkey Shoulder. So this is a Scotch, and this is actually my most recent bottle of whiskey. I am by no means an expert on Scotch, but this one tastes good to me. And I also have read online it's like one of the best Scotches to mix with. Old Grandad High Rye Bourbon. So this one, I bought this by mistake. I thought it was rye whiskey, and turns out it's not. It's just high rye bourbon, but it's still pretty good. This Old Forester 100 proof bourbon is just a great high proof bourbon to mix with. Really awesome in old fashions, and that's why it's almost gone. And these two I'll do together. I actually had some guy at the liquor store just flag me down and start selling me on Redwood Empire whiskey. And so I bought a bottle, I gave in, he got me, he manipulated me. And it worked. I mean, these are great. So yeah, that's all the different drinks. Now, I'm going to write them all down on this sticky note and pour them all into the glasses. Now I'm just gonna take these and mix them all up. Not that I already don't know which one's which. Okay. So as I taste each one of these, actually I'm gonna take my handy Gengar notebook here and write down what I thought of each one so I can get to the end and actually remember. And I'm gonna try to guess which one is which. I have like 0 confidence in my ability to actually nail each one down, except for a few. I think I can tell Crown. Whiskey 1. We must cleanse the palate before we taste. This one has a smokiness to it. Definitely kind of vanilla-y. It's got an earthy wood flavor. I think this one's bourbon. I'm pretty sure that's bourbon. But maybe it's Scotch, because it does have the smokiness to it. Kind of sweet, very mildly sweet. You can taste the oak it was aged on just as much as you could smell it. I think I am going to say that this is the Redwood Bourbon. On to the next one. This one has a much more subtle nose to it. The other one was very punchy, very pungent. Punchy and pungent, yeah, sure. I also get vanilla, but I don't get as many barrel notes from the nose on this one. I'm getting more nuts on this one. Big nuts. Okay, let's taste this. Oh, that's so much weaker. I might regret saying this later, but this one tastes cheaper. There's no real body behind that flavor. And also, it has a finish. The finish that I don't like on this is like old coffee grounds. That's what I think. I'm gonna say it's the Crown. Crown. We're 2 deep. Let's go for 3. This one smells like rye. It's got the, it's more up here, whereas bourbon tends to be more like here. It smells a little spicy too. Spicy nose. Gotta make eye contact as I sip. Oh yeah. Ooh, that went down a little wrong. That's definitely rye. I mean, it tastes just like the nose. That's probably the most accurate smell to taste of any liquor that I've ever had. I'm just a man here, tasting his 4th whiskey. Starting to feel it. This one's sweet. It smells deceptively strong. Like, it's got a very sweet nose, and I can tell that's just kind of like burying the ethanol in there. And it's kind of like a sweet vanilla custard with some darker notes in there of like the barrel and maltiness. Whiskey. God, I can't spell. Can't even read. Good. Let's taste it. I can't stop smelling it. I always feel like there's something I missed in the smell. Oh, woo! I found the high proof whiskey. That's good though. I like that. That's definitely my favorite so far. I didn't guess what the last one was. What did I write about it? I already forgot. I think this one's a rye. It's a rye. It's all gone awry. So which rye I guess? I think that last one is Redwood Rye. Shit. Oh God. So this one, I'm gonna take a guess on what this one is now. I think this one's the Old Forester. It tastes super punchy, very, very strong ethanol flavors, but also very sweet and very creamy. All right, favorite. Let's see if you last, or will a new favorite be crowned? This one has a very light nose, but what nose is there is very vanilla, very sweet, but doesn't seem as artificial as the vanilla on the nose of this one, number 2. This one's maybe a little bit more leathery. All right, tasty time. You know, at first I didn't think I was gonna like that one, but then it kind of evolved. It doesn't hit you, it hits you right away with very barrel forward, sweet vanilla. And then the spiciness kind of comes in on the back end, which is awesome. It has actually a really nice evolution to it. God, I just remembered that there's a Scotch in one of these. I don't think I could friggin' tell which one's the Scotch. I think this might be the Scotch. Well, I want to call it Old Monkey. I have like Old Grandad and Old Forester and Old Monkey, but it's not Old Monkey, it's Monkey Shoulder. I hate monkeys, by the way. Monkeys suck. They're like the mind of a toddler and the strength of a full-grown adult. That's a bad combo. But off that tangent, I think this is the Monkey Shoulder. I feel like I remember the Monkey Shoulder smelling more like orangey. Do I reserve the right to change these up when I get to the very end and I've tasted them all? I think I do. I think I do. So I'm going to tentatively put this as Monkey Shoulder for now. So that just leaves, this last one would have to be Old Grandad, if I'm right. And that's a pretty big if. I mean, I get mostly like rubbing alcohol. Very doctor's office-y. Not a great nose. Oh God. It tastes just as thin as it smells. And it's not good. I might dislike this one more than number 2. I think this one's the Crown Royal. Tastes bad. Yeah, that one sucks. I'm pretty happy with most of my answers because I think the only one that I really want to switch is this one. Because I think this is Old Grandad and I just don't really like it. And then that one is Crown Royal, and I've just grown out of it. Wow, this one has a wonderful nose after this one. Maybe I judged this too harshly. I think it's Old Grandpa. So let's see. Let's turn over the results here. So number 1 here, I thought number 1 was the Redwood Bourbon. Am I right? It's Redwood Rye. This is a rye? It smells so mild as a rye. This is still good though. It's still one of my favorites, which makes me feel good about spending the money to go for the Redwood Rye. Number 2, all right, this one, I am really curious what number 2 is since I had so many feelings towards it, not all positive. Monkey Shoulder. Interesting, interesting. Now, I definitely would have guessed that Monkey Shoulder would have much more of a nose on it. So where am I at on the scoreboard? Number 1, I'm gonna give myself half a point for number 1 because I guessed that it was the Redwood brand. And then Monkey Shoulder was actually number 2. Man, I don't like the Monkey Shoulder. That's kind of crazy. That being said, I will absolutely use it because I bought it. And I spent $35 on that thing. I'm gonna use it. Number 3. Old Granddad. What did I think number 3 was? I thought this one was Redwood Rye. Redwood Rye. Redwood Rye. Why is that so hard to say? Redwood Rye. And it's actually Old Granddad. So I really like the high rye bourbon Old Granddad. And this was the one that I registered to be the most spicy out of all of them. So that's very interesting, even though it's not actually a rye whiskey. All right, what's number 4? Number 4 was my favorite, and I really do think this one's the Old Forester. I hope I could at least tell that much. Let's see. It's Old Forester. Okay, I really like this one. I really like the Old Forester. So check the first one that I actually got right. No half a point BS with my coping. Number 5. Number 5 I thought was Monkey Shoulder, and I liked it better than numbers 2. This is Redwood Bourbon. Okay. Interesting. So Redwood Bourbon had a light nose to it. So what was this last one? This is our last reveal. Yeah, okay. Number 6 I thought was the worst, and it was Crown. I described it as doctor's office, transparent rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is transparent, that is true, but that is not how I meant it. Good news, I've grown up. I've moved beyond Crown Royal. Bad news, I have this entire small bottle of Crown Royal to use in something, and you know what? Maybe when you taste 5 previous better things, this tastes worse. But when you taste just this on its own, it's not as bad. That could be true. That's what I'm gonna tell myself, and that's what I'm gonna do as I dump that into probably like Coke or something. That was everything. I tasted them all, and I hope you found that interesting. I certainly did. I was correct in my assumption that I wouldn't be able to guess any of them. The only one I was able to guess was Old Forester, which before this I probably could not have told you was actually my favorite, but I will definitely be buying another bottle of this because I basically finished it off from doing this. And I will not be buying any more Crown because apparently I think it's a doctor's office. I would really recommend this to anybody who just wants to understand the flavors that are in these things. If you look at tasting notes and think that's BS, then this is the way to do it. This is how you find out that that stuff is there. And it's actually really hard to put your finger on. I think I described every one of these as vanilla, and I'm sure there's a lot more complex flavors there that I just can't discern. But what better way to learn than doing this? And I hope you will too. And with that, I will let you go. Go taste some booze. Tell me what you think down in the comments. And like and subscribe too. Yeah, that too. Do I like the way it tastes and the way it feels in my mouth?